Tenchaaves, and I'm here now for the Sultan to the Maguindanao. I am doing my thesis for my LLM, and I'm currently doing my thesis specifically on the implementation of the mother tongue here in one of the primary schools in Buluan, Maguindanao. We will be staying here for 1 week, and we're going to see how the teachers implement the mother tongue program in one of the primary schools. Please join me, and welcome to Maguindanao. In this part, I am going to discuss the results of the study. The first research question, how is MTB-MLE implemented in an area of armed conflict in terms of the use of mother tongue? First, as a subject, the teacher taught Maguindanaon alphabet. It was used also as a jump-off point using the names of the students, such as Lanabay and Luisabay. They also introduced the local vocabulary.
For the observations, the teachers used Filipino during Maguindanon mother tongue subject. Informal post-observation conference revealed teachers' difficulty in teaching Maguindanon despite being a native of Maguindanao. Third, teacher FGD results. Other grade 1 to 3 teachers expressed the same difficulty in implementing MTB-MLE. Not only the Maguindanaoan teachers are expressing this difficulty, much more for the Christians whose mother tongue is not Maguindanon. Another thing considered was that the principal supported the teaching of Maguindanon but points out the lack of dictionary and training. Here are some of the problems encountered in class. First is the lack of curriculum guide. Teachers only had a first and second quarter only. The textbook in grade 1 for Maguindanon has an error as a letter in the Maguindanon alphabet is not there. There is also the presence of Maranao words, which is not part of Maguindanon. The non-participation of Maguindanon representative in making the books and teaching materials compounded the problem. There is also an incomplete daily lesson log. For the next question, how is MTB-MLA implemented in an area of armed conflict in terms of the use of mother tongue as a medium of instruction? The teacher used Maguindanon not only in mother tongue subject, but in math and araling panlipunan or social studies. It has also been used in a live subject as students could not understand Arabic. Mother tongue as a medium of instruction has also been used for storytelling using big books and when they sang songs in Maguindanon. Other observations include the students use Maguindanon and Filipino when participating in the lesson. Teachers mix Maguindanon with Filipino when teaching. They use English for technical terms and they localize story to situations and environment. During the focus group discussion with the teachers, they accepted that they are more confident in using Filipino after doing it for so many years. Here is a rundown of problems encountered in class. Students counted fast in English than in Maguindanon, their mother tongue. It is easier to count in English as there are less syllables involved than the polysyllabic Maguindanon numbers. There is also lack of allied materials in non-Arabic language. Next research question on how MTB-MLE is implemented in using it in an area of armed conflict in terms of the use of mother tongue as an auxiliary language. It was found out that teachers use Maguindanon minimally in English, Filipino, and allied classes. The English lesson was more on oral fluency with teachers setting an example and the students following. The Filipino lesson was focused more on reading simple words. Here are the observations. The teachers used minimally the Maguindanon language during Filipino, English, and allied lessons. Another observation is that the use of Maguindanon was more on giving and explaining the class instructions instead of the lesson content. Here are the key points. Maguindanon as an auxiliary language could be unnecessary as majority of the school population is composed of Maguindanaoans. Another is that Filipino could serve as an auxiliary language in the presence of non-Maguindanaoans in class. Now let me discuss the results for the second research question. How is the mother tongue used in peace education in an area of armed conflict, particularly in the curriculum? First, it was found out that there was no direct mention of peace education in the curriculum. There was also Arabic language and Islamic values education, which focuses more in inculcating Muslim values and living harmoniously with others. There was more emphasis on becoming a good Muslim in the lessons. The inferences based on a live curriculum were the following. It unifies the long history of dichotomy of education among Muslims. It promotes Filipino national identity by singing the national anthem and pledging allegiance to the flag. It can also be inferred that a live curriculum has preserved the Filipino Muslims' cultural heritage. In an interview with a local education official and a military officer, it was found out that Arabic schools in the past had a negative impression that it is pro-rebels and that the Alive Ustads played a vital role to inculcate good values and the use of Maguindanon
Sa English! Yung nga sa English sinabi? Si Sarah.
Let me move on to the results of the second research question: how is the mother tongue used in peace education in an area of armed conflict, particularly in the instructional materials? It was observed that Arabic language and English Arabic textbooks were printed by the National Education Office but sponsored by Libya. However, there was no direct mention of peace education in these textbooks. The textbook contents emphasize the importance of strictly practicing Islam. It has said that Islam is a religion of love, harmony, and forgiveness. The inferences based on Alive textbooks were the following. The textbooks has been contextualized into the Philippine setting for Filipino Muslims. It emphasizes the importance of promoting harmony and love of neighbor. In an interview with Ustad, the Arabic language Islamic values education, better known as a live subject, is that the textbooks are translated in Maguindanon for better understanding of the students. In a focus group discussion with the parents, they admitted that the live classes in Maguindanon is effective, so students could easily understand the values taught. Now let me discuss the results of the last research question: how is the mother tongue used in peace education in an area of armed conflict, particularly in the strategies? It was observed that the Alive teachers have very few strategies, which include the use of big books to teach values, through experiential learning, and the use of direct translation. Based on the results of the study, here are the conclusions. First, the implementation of a national policy, such as MTB-MLE, requires a top-down and bottom-up approach. Second, there is lack of training, curriculum guides, and instructional materials which hamper its implementation. Third, there is lack of peace education using Maguindanon as a mother tongue. And fourth, there is a need to use Filipino as a common language to promote understanding among the peoples of Mindanao. Now here are the recommendations. 1. There should be regular and comprehensive trainings for those involved in MTB-MLE implementation. 2. Peace education should be implemented using Maguindanon. 3. Relevant teaching guide, instructional materials, and teaching exemplar should be provided to teachers. 4. Local consultation among implementers should be conducted by the Education Office, both regional and national levels. 5. There must be local support for the MTB-MLE program. 6. Local culture, literature, art, and music to support MTB-MLE implementation should be promoted. 7. The Escuela 4 case study should be used as basis for future research. And 8. All stakeholders should make schools safe from any form of armed conflict. Finally, as a researcher of this case study, I hope that there is a similar study to be conducted over a longer period of time in another area of armed conflict, preferably in southern Philippines. Also, I hope that a study will be repeated after 3 years to see any significant changes in the implementation of the MTB-MLE program in Escuela 4, Maguindanao, Southern Philippines. That will be all. Thank you very much for listening. This is Jaya Tentchavez of the University of the Philippines Open University and currently working here in Thailand. Sopran Salka.